Hey, I'm Emily from Cedar Hill Garden Consulting, and today we're hanging out in my kitchen preserving a harvest from my garden that we picked today. So when you put in all the work in your garden, you put in all the work to grow the plants and harvest everything, you don't want it to go to waste. But you also need to preserve things in your season of life, and maybe you're like me and you don't really have the time or energy after chasing your kids all day to do canning and dehydrating. However, I'm gonna share with you 3 ways that I preserve my veggies in my kitchen, and they don't take much time at all. So let's check it out. The first way that I like to preserve some of the things from my garden is with an easy pickling brine. We really like sweet pickles over here. We're not so much dill pickle fans, but you could do that if that's your vibe. But there are a lot of things in the garden that you don't realize you can pickle. The common ones are cucumbers, of course. Sometimes you can see like onions, red onions. You can pickle carrots. Some people even pickle okra. There's kind of endless options depending on what your family eats. So what we're gonna do to get started is we're just gonna search online, find a pickling brine that suits our needs, and then most of them are gonna have a vinegar base. You're probably gonna have a pickling salt. If you're doing something sweet like sweet pickles, you'd have granulated sugar, and then you'll have either like a mustard or a celery seed. And then maybe if you're doing dill pickles, you'll have fresh dill from your garden. So these are kind of the bases of most of the pickling brines that you'll be using. The second type of preserving that we're going to talk about has to do with preserving your herbs. I always have an abundance of herbs in my garden that I have nothing to do with, so this is a great, easy way. It doesn't take a long time. I don't have to have an expensive dehydrator or anything like that. All you have to have is some twine or string, some scissors, and your herbs. So what you're gonna wanna do is once you've gathered your herbs, you're just gonna snip off, a few stems. This is parsley. You're gonna bundle up your herbs. You're gonna take a little bit of twine, and it is as easy as it looks. You're just going to tie a little loose knot at the top, and I like to do a little bow, and there is our first bundle. And then we're just gonna go through and we're gonna do each set of herbs, and then we're gonna hang it in a sunny window inside. We don't want it to be outside in a hot, humid area because we want it to actually dry out. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks, depending on your humidity level in your house, you're gonna have fresh, dried herbs. The third way that I like to preserve my veggies in the kitchen is through freezing. And today we're specifically gonna do flash freezing with peppers, which is what I like to freeze because we like to have fajitas once a week. And when I flash freeze them, this way on a pan where they're not touching each other, it only takes about 30 minutes to pop it in the freezer, and then when you pull it out, they won't stick together. That way, when I throw them in a bag, I can just reach in, grab a handful when we're making fajitas one night. Super simple, super easy, can't recommend it enough. So you can see that those are 3 very achievable, easy ways to preserve your harvest, and you're gonna be so proud of yourself once you're eating from your homegrown veggies week to week. For more resources on preserving your harvest, head on over to kellogggarden.com.